Good evening. It is July 10th, and I figured I will make a video to recap the last week. I meant to do this much earlier, but as you see, it didn't get done. It's been crazy and busy, but it's been great. Um, I'm gonna quit using. The 4th was the first day since I made the last video, and celebrating July 4th in Ireland was different. It definitely wasn't as patriotic as the US, but we actually had a cool encounter that I'll fill you in later. But we started the day off with breakfast like always. Left Waterford at about 9. Side note, I did not cut my hair. It's in a kind of tangled braid. It's been a long day. Anyway, left at 9 and went over to Lismore. We got out and we went and did this Boyle Summer School. Lismore is where I guess the founding father of modern day chemistry, Christopher Boyle, was from. We had a little science fair kind of presentation from a guy that dressed up like Boyle and came out and did little experiments. It was kind of like Bill Nye the Science Guy, except not as cool. We were a little confused while we were doing it because we're not taking any science courses, but I guess they're having some kind of science convention, or they were in Lismore last weekend, so that's why they had that. So we sat through that for about an hour, and then we got to take our lunch and walk around the town. There's a huge castle in the center of the town, and for only 35,000 euro, you can rent it out for a week. It's privately owned, so we weren't able to go in it, but we could see the outside of it, and it was this huge castle. I say we rent it for the next family reunion. Everybody pitch in a couple $1,000s. How about that? Anyway, so me and a few friends walked down. When we were coming up to Lismore, it like loops around. You go over this bridge, and you can see this really cool like space in the trees of the castle, and then you wind back up the hill and go to like the center square. So we walked down that trail to where that bridge was and took some pictures with the castle. It was really pretty. It was over water. There were some cows below in the water. And had our lunch there, and then we walked back up and got on the bus, and then from there we went to we drove over to Kerry, so that was a long drive. We took a quick bathroom break, but when you're traveling with 88 people, Walter, our tour guide, that's kind of like our main Irish guy here, has a group of students from New York, and they traveled with us last weekend. So rather than our normally like 70-ish person, 75 group, it was 88 people. So our short bathroom break turned into like 45 minutes, so that made the trip a little bit longer. And then we ended up getting to the Kerry area, the Killarney, and we saw the Ross Castle, and behind that there was a water and some mountain scenery, and it was kind of like ruins of a castle. We didn't really go into it, but we just stopped there for about 30 minutes and got to explore. And then we went to Muckross House, which was like an old manor home estate kind of thing, and it was actually under like construction. There was scaffolding all up the edges, kind of ruining our pictures, but we walked around there, and there was a huge field in the back, and then there's like a track all around it where you could actually rent like horse-drawn carriage rides, which was kind of cool. I mean, we didn't do it, but we saw the horses riding around with people in the carriages and the guide talking about the estate. But there was a huge lake at the back, and then the scenery of the behind the lake was just mountains and like a really pretty backdrop. So we're up here on like the path area, and then there's like some woods and trees, and then you see it open up, and there's like a rocky, pebbly area that kind of goes down into the water. And we saw some people holding an American flag. We're like, oh, well, let's go check it out. So we go down there, and they actually turned out to be Americans. I think they were from Arkansas, and they had a big American flag that they were taking pictures with, and they were actually there on like a church group or something. I wasn't the one that talked to them, but that's what my group was telling me, and they gave us the flag to have. So we took a bunch of pictures with it. So I have a really cool picture of me standing on this huge like boulder-sized rock in the middle of like the water with the mountains behind me, and I'm like holding the flag behind me. So I really like that picture, and that was kind of our cool way of like celebrating the 4th of July. So then we went to our hotel, and we stayed at Castle Ross Hotel. So we went to Ross Castle, and then we stayed at Castle Ross Hotel, and it had like a golf course behind it, but it was really pretty. It was really nice. We actually got to eat dinner there that night, and then breakfast Friday morning, dinner Friday night, and then breakfast Saturday morning before we left. and they were super, super delicious meals. Lawson is a huge person and majoring in like hospitality kind of stuff, and so we took pictures of all our food. And the first night I had fried pork chop. We had this. They had a set menu, and you could pick like out of three starters, and then three entrees, and then three or two desserts, and you could pick what you wanted. So we got the 3 course meal, which was nice, and the whole back side of this hotel was all glass. So on the main level, you walked in, and there was like the welcome desk, and then you kept walking, and they had like a little pub in the back. Then they had the different wings with the rooms, and then you go upstairs, and it opens to the dining room. But the whole back of like the pub and the dining room area, sorry, was all glass, and it kind of came to like a peak at the top in the dining area. So we saw the pretty scenery behind us. It was that same Mocross Lake, but from the other side of where the estate or house was, and then the mountains. So that was really pretty, and dinner was really great. And then we went down and hung out at the pub for a while with just everybody from our group. Kind of hung out and socialized, and that was nice because that was the first time we'd actually like hung out outside of our own little individual field trips or individual, like, I mean, when we have free weekends, everybody kind of goes their own separate ways with their groups. So it was nice to have everybody together. That was kind of cool. And we went back to the hotel room, went to sleep, and got up Friday to do the Ring of Kerry, and it was phenomenal. I cannot even tell you how amazing, beautiful, perfect scenery this was. This is definitely my favorite part of Ireland so far that I've seen. The scenery was just breathtaking. It was like crystal clear blue water and just green rolling hills. It was great. We went to several different spots. We actually got to the top of like the highest peak that we went to, and it opened up to like a scenic view area, and everybody got off, and they had places where you could like pet lambs, and they had like a nun lady that was selling handmade knitted scarves and hats that proceeds went to help the children in India, and they had people playing music over to the side, and it was a really pretty scenery area, so we took a lot of pictures there. The first place, like on our way up, it's a 7-hour drive, so it was a long day, but it was a lot of pretty pictures and a lot of mini stops and just sightseeing. The first place we stopped, there was actually, it really was just kind of on the side of the road, like the bus just kind of pulled to the side, and there was a small lane where you could, kind of do a scenic view, but it wasn't like the top of that first one I was telling about. But we got out there, and there's a little boy that had a table set up that was selling fresh strawberries, which were delicious. One of the girls bought a carton, and we all kind of shared it. And then there's people, a husband and wife, playing some Celtic music. She was playing the harp, and he had the guitar, so that was really cool. So it was really pretty. And then from there, we went to Daniel O'Connell's birthplace, which was pretty much just ruined little rubble of some stones because he was born dirt poor. So we saw that for a few minutes, and then we actually drove to where the house that he actually like owned in his estate. And we got to the house, and we had our lunches to eat. So we just started eating our lunch. And there's a huge pasture in the back with like a fence, and it kind of went up onto a hill. And afterwards, we had some time to explore and go on our own. So we went over this hill, and I saw a sign that said beach access. And that's when I got excited, because as much of a grand time as I'm having, and as much as I'm loving Ireland, I miss the summer weather in Georgia. I love summer. That's my favorite time of year. I love being able to wear shorts, tank tops, and barefoot and flip-flops, and I just love summer. And not getting that here was getting a little sad, because I was not liking the freezing cold weather like our winters feel like, but it's their summer. But last Friday was beautiful. It's actually been beautiful weather ever since, and it was warm. So we topped this hill, and this is my favorite place in Ireland that I've seen so far. If I ever don't come back, you can come find me behind Daniel O'Connell's house in the Ring of Kerry. Oh my gosh, white sandy beach, tide coming in with the waves, crystal clear blue water, these huge like boulder stones just sitting out in the water that you can climb on and sit on. So going to dip my toes in the Atlantic Ocean from the opposite side was amazing. So great. We took a bunch of pictures, we drew in the sand. Two of our guys actually like stripped down to boxers and just ran to swim in the Atlantic, which it was freezing cold, so I'm surprised they're not sick, but that was entertaining to watch to say the least. So we had an absolutely incredible time there. Um, and then that was pretty much our last stop. We did a few more like quick sites. Oh, well, leaving, that kind of looped us back around and we started heading back towards the hotel after that. And we stopped at the Black Valley because it's a deep valley that really sees no sun at the very bottom of it. So it's called Black Valley. We took some pictures there and then went to Ladies View, which I think it was Queen Victoria came to visit, and her and the other queens and princesses or whoever she brought with her wanted the best view there was of the three lakes. So that was why it was called Ladies View. So we stopped there, and that was pretty, but it was nothing like the beach. The beach just topped it off for me. That was amazing. Um, so I went back to the hotel, laid down for a little bit, freshened up, went to dinner, another yummy, yummy dinner where we ate so much. I actually ended up having two desserts that night because Chris, one of the guys on the trip, can't have anything with any dairy whatsoever. So he brought me his apple pie. So I had two desserts, plus my starter and my entree and my tea. So yeah, I was feeling like a fatty. But after that, we went down to the pub and hung out again. There was actually a guy named Guy. I think his name was Guy Gear. I'm not really sure. It was spelt different. I wasn't quite sure his first name, but his last name was Healy. So it made me think of Mr. Larry. But he was playing, and we all went and sat down. And Dad always used to play music, Irish music, when he got home from work, when we danced around the house. And Galway Girl was always my favorite song. Still is. Absolutely love it. That's why we're going to Galway this weekend. I'm so excited. That's what I wanted to see most in Ireland was Galway because of that. But anyway, I've gotten my roommates really turned on to it. Lost absolutely loves it and plays it like a good 10 times a day, if not more. So the guy, as we were sitting there listening to him, asked for a request, and I said, Galway Girl. He goes, well, I played it a few minutes ago, but I'll play it for y'all again. Where y'all from? And I said, Georgia. And he goes, okay. So a few minutes later, he goes, okay, well, this song's up next. It's for my Georgia girls. So that was kind of cool. He gave us a little shout out. And then he sang it. And at the very last verse, rather than saying Galway Girl, he put in Georgia Girl. So that was kind of cool. So we really enjoyed that. And then we went outside and sat on the back deck. And some of the guys from our group actually brought instruments and guitars and stuff. So they were just kind of picking around. And it was a little chilly because the sun had already went down. But it backs up to the golf course, and there was actually a deer that like walked straight up to us and probably got within like 12 feet from us. So that was kind of different. You don't normally see that, so that was cool. And I was surprised I guess I didn't really think about it, but I was kind of surprised that they had deer here. They're supposed to like not have snakes at all on the island because St. Patrick banned them all or banished them all from Ireland. So Mom, you're safe. You're not ever gonna get bit by a snake when you come over here. But I hadn't really seen any much wildlife except for like farm animals and cattle. So seeing a deer was kind of cool. Then we went back to our hotel and I turned on the TV and Still Magnolias was coming on. So that was exciting. Got to watch Dolly Parton and a good old Southern movie over here in Ireland. Went to sleep, got up the next day and went back home. We just, actually, we stopped at Blarney. We got to kiss the Blarney Stone, climb up the itty bitty tiny narrow staircase and get to the top, lean back over, kiss the stone to give you the gift of eloquence. Walter was actually telling us about it on the bus, and he was kind of making fun because he goes, yeah, all you tourists come, pay us money to climb up a narrow, high staircase, then get leaned over backwards where you can see the ground below to kiss a stone that everyone kisses to give you the gift of eloquence, which basically means you could tell someone to go to hell in a very nice way. So kind of like bless your heart, but it was funny. So we did that. Then we shopped around the wool mills, and it was another absolutely gorgeous day. And we had lunch at the cafe there. The girls got ice cream. We headed back, and we went downtown. We were going to try to eat at a pub and watch the hurling match because there was a big hurling match on between Tipperary and Kilkenny, but we actually didn't make it downtown in time. to do that. They quit serving at about 9 o'clock, and that's about the time we got downtown. So we ended up eating at an Italian place, but it was really good, and we had a lot of fun and came back and crashed hard and went to sleep. But we got up Sunday and got ready and went to Dunmore East, which is one of the close beaches. It's about a 20-minute ride. Traffic and stops that came out because we rode the bus came out to be about 30 minutes. But we had such a good time. It was just me and Lawson, Sarah, Natalie, and Kate, which is pretty much the group that I formed. And we just walked down to the water. And again, it was just like beautiful blue water, cliffs behind them. A lot of people were in the water and playing and stuff, but we actually found a way to get out on one of kind of this. I don't really think of it as a cliff. I mean, it kind of had jagged edges on the side to go in the water, but it was basically like just a huge big boulder rock sitting kind of out from the path. And we sat on it, and I kind of found a spot that had a groove in it where it had the back that comes up. So I just laid back and enjoyed the water and the sunshine, and it was a perfect Sunday. And then we came back and did a little bit of homework, hung out, and then Monday we had class. And then yesterday was Tuesday, the 9th, and the other group went surfing, which I did not get to do. But my group went to Ardmore. It was a really pretty town, small town. That was basically where the St. Delkin came. His ship stopped there. We got a tour guide. His name was Liam, and he pretty much walked us around. We actually did a 5K, which I think is a 3-mile hike. It was really pretty view, but it was a lot of walking. We saw the holy well, and I got me some holy water. It's supposed to wash all skin sores away, so I might try to wash my face in it, see if it'll get rid of the acne. Hope that works. If it does, I'll bottle it up and ship it home. But that was just a lot of pretty views. It was on the water most of the way. I actually got a lot of sun. I kind of have like a little bit of a farmer's tan going on, which I didn't expect to have in Ireland, but I am not complaining at all. That's very exciting. So that was that. And then today we had breakfast, class, lunch, class, a 30-minute break, a culture class, then got on the buses and went to Wexford, saw the Famine Ship, ate at the cafe there, and then didn't get back until after 9 o'clock. So we literally were going for over 12 hours today. So it was a very busy day. But tomorrow we are going to Kilkenny for the first time. I'm excited about that. That is Papa's favorite part of Ireland, so I'm really excited to see it. We're going to do a field trip there, and then from Kilkenny we're leaving to get a train ride, take us to Dublin, and then getting on another bus in Dublin and going to Galway. We're going to stay at a B&B, and we're going to do the Cliffs of Moher, so I'm excited to see those. Don't worry, I won't get close to the edge. I'll be very careful, Mom. Don't fret. And I'm going to try to do a little shopping and sightseeing of the town. And then we're actually coming back early Saturday morning so that we can be back in time to go to the Waterford versus Kilkenny hurling match in Thurtle. So that's going to be exciting. Heard it's a very big, pretty big game. Well, not really a big game, but Kilkenny is extremely good. So, well, being Waterford, from what I've heard, we're not predicted to win. But maybe us Georgia people will bring us good luck, and we will. But either way, it'll be fun to see it, and it's a lot of Irish culture. From what I've heard, it's like the SEC, except for in an Irish version and an Irish sport. If you don't know what hurling is, from what I've seen, it looks like a cross between soccer, football, baseball, and lacrosse. So it's a very intense game to watch. I'm not really sure how the scoring works because they kind of have what looks like field goals plus a soccer goal, but I guess I will figure it out on Saturday. So I will report back news on that next week, and I will also report back all around our Galway and Kilkenny stories. And then Sunday we also plan to either go surfing or paddleboarding. So we'll see how that goes and if it works out. Only if the weather's warm. I'm really baby when it comes to cold water, and that Atlantic water is extremely cold. They do have wetsuits, but we'll see how it all works out. Either way, we're trying to make the most of every single day because we've only got 2 weeks left. It's going by pretty quickly. When I think about getting here, it feels like it was so long ago, but then again, I know the next 2 weeks are going to go by really quickly, so I'm not ready to get back to reality quite yet. Classes are going pretty well. I got a 95 on a paper that I wrote this week, or that I had to turn in last week, so that's good. I've got some homework to do this weekend for our final week of classes next week, and then we have a final right before we come home. So that's that. But hope everybody is doing well back home, and I love and miss everybody. And feel free to look at all the pictures that I posted on Flickr. I have so far taken almost 1,200. Yay! I still have 2 weeks to go, so we'll see how that works out. But anyway, definitely well documenting the trip. You can also, obviously, if you're watching this video, you're seeing my blog. But that and Flickr, I feel like I probably have so much other stuff to tell, report on. Oh, I'll leave you with the funny story. So Dad, when him and Mom and the grandparents and everybody all traveled to Ireland, every time he came back, he brought Crunchy Bars, which is a candy bar, and it's chocolate on the outside, and then on the inside it's got like golden crispy honeycomb, and I absolutely loved it. So when I came over here, that was like the first thing I really wanted to get was get a Crunchy Bar. So over the past like 3 weeks I've been here, I've gotten probably like 7 or 8. Just every time I'm out the store, I'll pick one up and have it as a treat for dessert after dinner or a snack or whatever. And I knew I wanted to get a good bit when before I left, to bring back to give to family and friends, and also to have like a little stash at home to enjoy because I can't get it over in the States. So we went to Tesco, which is kind of like their grocery store, on Sunday after we were coming back from Dunmore East, and I saw that they had a pack of 4, but then it was a bonus pack, so I had 2 extras, so it was a pack of 6, and it was actually half price, so it was only €1.21 for 6 candy bars, which is pretty good because I was paying like €1.20 for one at like the gas stations. So I scooped up 3 and checked out and went outside. Well, when we were leaving, I was like, well, I would have gotten more if they had more, but I didn't see any more on the shelf. And the girls were like, no, they had a whole end cap full. And I was like, well, I feel like I should go back and get more for that price. So I go in and I get more. And let me just show you. I came out with 60 Crunchy Bars. So it's safe to say that I am well stocked on chocolate. I'm so excited. I got 10 packs of 6 each, so I have 60 Crunchy Bars. So that's exciting. But the funny part of that is they don't do any kind of bags at grocery stores here, or really most stores. They try to get you to get the Go Green bag, so you can either buy a reusable bag or bring your own, or book bag or whatnot. Well, we had our book bags, but that was full of other stuff, so when I went back in to get these, I just carried them in my hands. So obviously I had that huge stack, and it takes about 30 minutes to walk from town to our apartment. The bus wasn't running on Sunday, so we walked. We've done a lot of walking. Anyway, we're walking back, and the guys will just kind of like holler at girls over here. Obviously they know that we're not from around here. We're normally wearing book bags or cameras or whatever. So they'll kind of holler out their windows or toot their horn or whatnot. Well, we're walking past the stoplight, and the cars are stopped, and we're walking, and we pass a car that's like got a few guys in it, the windows are down, and I hear this guy go, hey girl, and I kind of look over, and he goes, let me get a Crunchy, and we just absolutely died laughing. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but it was probably the cheesiest, best pickup line I've ever heard in my life. I should have just popped open the bag and tossed in one just because it was funny, but we just kind of laughed and kept walking. But anyway, I have 60 candy bars. I'm always hungry on this trip. We walk so much. We always eat a lot when we get a chance. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the 24-minute video I just made. If you actually watched till this point, then I'm surprised. So thank you for watching, and hope everybody's doing great. And I'll talk to you later. Bye!